Okay. We have Mr. Binks here. Isn't he so cute? It's the cutest little Yorkie. So like perfect face. We're gonna make him look beautiful. Okay, so obviously we're having like basic conversations before he even moved into my house. Let me backtrack a little bit. And I had asked him, well, okay, so when we found out about Paige and how he was engaged to her, my mom was doing her research. And so he wiped her off his social media, but she didn't wipe him off of hers. So, and then she was telling her story on her TikTok. So, my mom was following her the whole time, her whole journey, and getting very emotionally involved. And again, I didn't want to see any of it. I didn't. I wanted to stay in the dark. I didn't want to see any of it because he already explained everything to me. So I didn't want to see any of it. And so she was impressed by his engagement, how he did a flash mob, his proposal, how he did a flash mob proposal. And I'm like, Mom, I don't want to hear any of this stuff. I don't want to know how he proposed to her or how nice her ring was. And so, she was trying to line up the timeline with what he told me. So she's lining up the timeline based on what he was telling me and based on what was on her page and her story. And for my mom, it wasn't adding up. She didn't like him. And I heard Paige's mama didn't like him either. So, my mom's definitely worried. I know she is. I know she's worried. But I'm just, what does she say? If you choose to put your head in the sand. Oh, that's what I did. Anywho, I would ask him, because he told me he went to UCLA. He said he went to UCLA or USC. And I think it's USC, because USC is by Felix. You guys, I think Felix the cat, the car dealership, I think that's USC. So that's where he told me he went to college. And I'm like, wow, like, when did you have time to do that? Because he also went to film school. So I was like impressed. I'm like, dang, like, how did you go to USC and you were living in Colorado and you were in the military and you went to film school? Like, and you had one kid. Told me he just had 2 kids. He had an older son and then he had his daughter, and that was it. So I was trying to figure it out, and he also put that on his LinkedIn profile that he had went to USC. I think I have a screenshot of that. I will find it because it's not on there anymore. So so he goes, oh, well, I went online. I graduated from USC online. So I was thinking like maybe he took like a business certificate program, some program or something that you could do it online. I mean, I don't know. I know a ton of y'all probably went to USC. So can you get a certificate online from USC? I don't think so. So, but I just ate it up. I was like, oh, okay. Because who would lie about that? Like, why would you lie about school? That didn't make sense to me. So he went to film school. So in 2016, he moved from Colorado to California. And so, he left his wife, Samantha. Hey, girl. She may comment. You may see her comments on here. But he left his wife, Samantha, and moved out to California. And the way he did that was, she comes home one day, and her furniture is gone. Yes. Gone. He rented an apartment in Colorado. He rented an apartment, got a U-Haul truck, and took her furniture. Took the furniture, left the kids' stuff. I think she told me that furniture, she's gonna have to correct me, But I think she told me that that furniture, they were paying on it still. And so he took it. I guess it was new furniture. Maybe he talked her into buying new furniture knowing that he was going to get a new apartment. And that way we'd have new stuff. That would be typical of him. Typical of him. Typical of him. Like, 100%. So, but she'll have to correct me. So anyways, and then she had co-signed. She's co-signed on a car for him twice. So this is the second car. The other one, I can't remember what happened. I think it also got repossessed or something. I'm not sure. But, the second car was like a Honda or something like that. And so, you know, that's the car that he was driving. So she said that she would take the kids over there only maybe twice. He told me that he was feeding the kids. Because I was like, you moved? Like, he was like, yeah, we separated. She didn't know they were separating. But he was like, yeah, we separated. And, you know, I would take the kids, take care of them and stuff at my house. And she told me that wasn't true. And she said he would not feed them. He had no food in his refrigerator. When I met him, he had no food in his fridge. And I was like ordering groceries at Walmart and sending it to his house at his apartment because he had enough just to pay for his rent and he didn't have enough to buy like food. So I was sending like grocery orders to his house. So anywho, so she said she would always have to feed the kids before she dropped them off. So so then all of a sudden he was gone. He was only at that place for 2 months because he got evicted. He got evicted because he couldn't pay he didn't pay the rent. So he got evicted. And he took the car and drove it to California. And he ended up not even paying on that car. So that car ended up being in default. And she couldn't afford, she was struggling. Like, she was taking care of 4 people. Like, they didn't let him re-enlist into the military. That's a whole nother story. And so he took the car, and I guess he told me that he found something where he stayed at a house full of boys and all he had to do was drive them around and he was able to stay there for free. But then, like, not too long after, he met Van. We're gonna call her Van. She gave me permission to tell part of her story. He met Van, and I guess her lease was up or coming up, and he talked her into moving in with him. And so Van is absolutely gorgeous, curvy, Pacific Islander, and she was like down. She was helping him. He went to film school. She helped him. All these people calling me. She helped him get a job after film school. So she acted like she was his agent, and she helped him get a job. He was helping her pay rent because he got like a disability check from the military. So she was helping her pay rent. So this job that she helped him get was how he met Paige. So while he's with Van, he was dating Paige. And so at this time, the car's in default, and Sam doesn't know like where the car is. They want to know where the car is. She's like, I don't know where the car is. He drove it to California. So he ordered a pizza on her Papa John's account and put in his address. And so that's how she found out where he was. And she told people, and they went and got the car. So he comes out and the car is gone. He tells Van, my car got stolen. She had an extra car. So he never was without a car. He ended up driving her extra car. Again, this is like, it's not my story, so this may not be all 100% accurate as far as the timeline for stuff, but this is roundabout what happened. So, so she has a tracker on the car, and Van noticed that he was constantly like at this address, and he was at it often. This is after film school. So I'm like, you didn't like go down there? She's like, no, I just thought he was working. Like, I didn't know. And so the address was Paige's address. Overlapping relationships. Sound familiar? To be continued. Okay, I know you guys are saying I'm long-winded. So, all right. Okay, so we have a joint account. We're going back to me. That was a little bit about that. We know that he was cheating on Van with Paige, cheated on Paige with me. So you guys got Paige's story. I know he was dating Paige for at least 6 months while he was still with Van. So when she found out that he was cheating on her, I think he had moved some stuff out while she was away at work. And he took like her alkaline water machine, her TV, like all these things that he had moved into like my place with, like some of the stuff that he had or some of the stuff at his apartment is a collection from just the women that he's been with. Like he already makes his moves however many steps ahead, not too many steps ahead, but enough. And he makes sure that he takes what he wants. I wasn't playing that. Please. The thing is, what do people say? Just listen and watch. And you know exactly what they're going to do. I knew exactly what he was going to do before I left him. So, we're not going there yet. Rewind. So I'm putting money into this account, our joint account. Do you think he's putting money into the joint account? No. What do you think he's doing? Spending it. Spending the money that I'm putting in there to pay his car note. I essentially was paying his car note. Not only did I help get the car, but I'm also paying the note because he kept getting calls because his payments were late. So I told him, I said, you're not putting any money in here. You're just spending it. So when he got his monthly check, he put $200 in there and told me, oh yeah, I deposited some money. But then he turned around and took it right back out. So one day, I get a notification that $700 was taken from the account. And I was like, what in the world? And I was upset because it had been taken from the savings of our joint account. And so I was like, oh my God, this money got taken. Like, I don't even know why. Like, they said there was a lien on the account. And I'm just really, really upset because I'm trying so hard, to save and things like that. And at this time, we didn't have his daughter yet. We ended up getting custody of his daughter, but not yet. So, I was really upset. I get a letter in the mail. And it says that the lien was taken out because of Byron being on my account. And I'm like, it says it's because of you. What do you have where you would have a lien on it? He's like, oh, it's probably something for my dad because, my dad used my social security number and opened up a bunch of accounts. And I'm like, oh my God, why? How can he do that? How can he? He's like, well, because our names are similar. And I'm like, okay. So randomly one day, he goes, I think I owe you this, and gives me the $700 back. Where did he get the money from? I'm not sure. So I have to go to so I've been going to the fertility doctor. This is my fertility story now. So I've been going to the fertility doctor. I've had issues since I was 22. Didn't know if I would be able to have kids. Didn't know if I would ever be a mom. It was an underlying thing that I low-key was depressed about. And so the age range that I was at the time was literally my last chance to be a mother. So I just was like, oh my God, I met my person. This is perfect. This is perfect. I still have time. I also was going to do IVF. So before I met Byron, I was going to do IVF and freeze my eggs. But if you understand IVF or know anything about it, it's still risky. My egg count was less than a 1. At 35, my egg count should have been an 11. And it was less than a 1. I only had 1 ovary left. Dermoids. I had a lot of issues. So, I went to the fertility doctor and he does my tests and Byron's with me and he said, if you're going to do something, Camille, you're going to have to do it now. You're going to have to do it now. And my heart kind of dropped because I know the risks with freezing your eggs. When you unfreeze them, you have the risk of those eggs not making it. And if I have less than a 1 egg count, how many good viable eggs are they going to get from me? And whatever I freeze, like, could possibly be, when they be unviable during the thawing out process. And then I no longer have an egg count, and now I don't have any eggs, right? Like, it was scary. It was a scary thing, a scary realization that, I may not be able to be a mother. And so when he said that, I looked at Byron, and he goes, why don't we have a baby for free? And then he told me he had super sperm. And I'm like, really? Really? Like, yeah, you want to do it? And he was like, yeah. And so then before I made my decision, I'm like, it's you and me, right? Like, we're going to do this. We're going to build this. We're going to be a power couple, because I've always wanted to be with someone I could be a power couple with. And so he was like, yeah, like, it's you and me. When I look back, when I asked him that question, his head was down and he hesitated. He looked hesitant. He did. But the thing is, he told me what I wanted to hear. And that's what I ran with. That's what I ran with. And so we proceeded to try to get pregnant for 4 months. And so my son is my miracle baby. I wouldn't have, I wanted to be married. He told me he wanted to marry me. And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to have a baby first. Like, because to get married, like, we have to, like, get rings. We have to, like, I don't want to do courthouse. Like, I want to actually have, like, a wedding. And so we don't have time for that. Like, the baby's going to have to come first. So that's what we did. And then I began my pregnancy journey. And we will talk about that. I hope this is fast enough for you guys. I hope this is fast enough. I don't like talking too fast because you won't be able to understand me. So, next one will be my pregnancy journey. Okay, so his daughter came to visit over the summer. This is my first time meeting her. And he told me that he couldn't tell her mom, and this is the woman that he's married to, that he has a girlfriend. And so that he's going to tell her that I'm his Aunt Camille. And so I was just like, okay, because he was like, she won't send her if I tell her. So I was like, okay, no problem. So she came to visit for 2 weeks, and things were great. Like, we went to Disney, we went to, like, Legoland or SeaWorld. And of course, I paid for everything. And I also had to buy her a new wardrobe, because when her mom sends her, I think it's just a way to get him to buy her clothes, because she sends her in stuff that's, like, too small. So I had to buy her a whole new wardrobe. And so she had fun. She was super sweet. And her and her dad just, like, played video games and stuff like that. So, and she went back home. Everything was good. So, but during that time, he was also using my credit cards. And I asked him, I'm like, don't use my credit cards. Those are my cards. And he was like, well, I thought, we're a team, and what's basically, like, what's mine is his. I was like, no, those are my cards. If you want, if you just use your own cards. So at this time, I did end up putting him on as an authorized user. I think I don't know if I did it before or after he was using my credit cards, but I put him on I did it after. I put him on as an authorized user, and it boosted his credit score, so he was able to get approved for cards. So he started getting, like, lower limits, like $500 limits. And so, but I had locked my cards, because even after I asked him not to use my cards, he was still using them. And I just knew that I couldn't trust him. So I always kept my cards locked. I had, like, an extra wallet with cards that I don't use. He was going into that wallet and literally using all of my cards. And he would do small transactions. Some were, like, maybe a couple hundred. So, yeah. Even my Target card, he would use my Target card. And I loved Tabitha Brown. And he would, if he bought me anything, he would be using, like, my money to buy me things. So I essentially was buying stuff for myself. So one day my mom called me. This is like in the beginning of our relationship. And she goes, I have to shut down the Home Depot card for fraud because someone's been buying a bunch of gift cards on it. And I'm like, what? She's like, have you been buying gift cards? I'm like, no, I don't buy gift cards on Home Depot card. So she was like, yeah, I'm going to have to talk to the fraud department. So the lady at the fraud department said that whoever's using it, because this person had bought like $300 worth of like gift cards at one time. And so she said whoever's using it is using a military discount. So when my mom heard that, she told the lady not to report it as fraud because she knew exactly who it was. So she ends up telling me, and I'm like, what? That doesn't make sense. So I asked him, and of course he denied it. And then, but my mom, I mean, that's all she needed to know. So she was like, well, you can't use this card. Like, you have to close this card down. So he was buying like GameStop cards, and he was buying cards for like his PlayStation and stuff like that. Probably gift cards to go take other women out, you know, on dates and things like that. So I don't know. I'm like, you didn't have to pay rent for a year. You get like 15, 18. He even got his military pay increase for disability. Like, what are you doing with your money? Like, why are you using my money? It just, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I have no idea what he was doing with it. I don't know. So this is exhausting, you guys. I'm sorry. And I'm tired. But, yeah, so he's using my money. And, yeah, I know I can't trust him. He did the Home Depot card. And he would just use my Target card to buy stuff all the time. Always using the Target card to get things. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the next video is going to be about my pregnancy announcement. My baby announcement. So before I tell my pregnancy story, the reason why the daughter's mom didn't want, well, wouldn't send her if he found out that she found out that he had a new girlfriend, is because almost every 2 years he has like a new supply. So, and he introduces his daughter to these new women all the time. So she ends up getting attached. Because we all spoiled her. We spoiled her. We bought her new clothes. Took her to go get her nails done. You know, I've gotten her hair braided. Because she's biracial. Her mom is white. So, and I can't do little girls' hairs. I just can't. I was happy to have a boy. I wanted to be a boy mom so bad. Because I've never been good with doing hair. Not even my own hair. My hair was short. Like super short for 11 years. Super cute. Everyone thought I either looked like Rihanna or Shawnee O'Neal. I would get that all the time. Before I went ahead and grew out my hair naturally curly, and then I did locks. But anywho, yeah, so that's why she didn't want her daughter being introduced to any more women, because it's like abandonment almost, right? So she would her mom is the one that had to deal with that and help her through that loss. So that's why she didn't want her introduced to anybody new. But I didn't know. I didn't know that. I was just like, what do you mean? Like, I'm great. Like, she's in great hands. But that's why I found that out, obviously, later. So my pregnancy. So I really wanted to go to Hawaii for Christmas. At this time, there was a rift between my mom and I that Byron caused. And so her and I aren't like, we're kind of shaky. So I really didn't want to be home for the holidays because like no one really liked him. So I was like, I really want to go to Hawaii so bad. Like, I really want to go to Hawaii for Christmas. So there's this site that I absolutely love called redweek.com. It's where people rent out like their timeshares. So I was able to find for 4 days in Kauai during Christmas. I think we got there like on the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. No, we got there on the 23rd and we left like on the 26th. And it was only $1,500. Yes, baby. No, there's not a monster. Do you want to put your towel on? Okay. Here. No. Let me get a towel. Yeah, so I was able to go, we were able to go to Hawaii for my baby moon, for like $1,500. Lay down. And it was great. And he wanted to go ziplining. So I paid for him to go ziplining. Again, all on my dime. Like, he didn't help pay for anything. So we did 4 days in Kauai, and we stayed at the Marriott. And then we did 3 days in Oahu. I don't really care for Oahu. I mean, I guess it's great if you really like to shop. I'm not really like a big shopper like that, but I at least wanted to do like the pineapple museum. I think it's called Dole Pineapple Museum, and then they have like Turtle Beach, and so I enjoy those parts of Oahu. And Byron has never been to Hawaii, so I love to travel. And when I met him, that was his thing. He said he loved to travel too. But then I find out that he owed child support. And you know, if you owe more than $2,000 of child support, you cannot get a passport. If you already have a passport, you're fine until it expires. You can't renew it. But if you try to apply for a passport, if you owe more than $2,000, you cannot get a passport. So I love to go to the Caribbean. Like, I love to go to the Caribbean. I really wanted to go to Punta Cana. That was like my next destination trip, and I couldn't go. So, you know, we went to Hawaii, which is great. Like, Hawaii's great. So, and he'd never been. So I was like, yeah, let's just go. And he enjoyed himself thoroughly. He really did. So, yeah, I paid for him to go zip lining. And again, I paid for everything, literally everything. He did, is that trip? Yeah, he did buy me, because, he bought me Christmas gifts. He got me like a duffel bag from Tote and Carry, which is Black owned. I like their stuff. And then he got me like this necklace that said my son's name and then mom. So that made me cry. I'm not a very emotional person, so it takes a lot to get me to like cry. Even this whole situation, I haven't really cried a lot about it. I only cried like here and there. Yes, baby, I'm putting a diaper on. So he loves to get like reactions from people. Loves it. So it really makes him feel good. So I broke down and was crying when I saw that necklace, because it's like, I really am going to be a mom, you know? So we do a really cute photo shoot at that particular hotel in Kauai before we went to Oahu. And he put the videos and stuff together. I will upload that on here. I think I can do that. So he put the video and all that stuff together, and we ended up on the like the day before we were supposed to leave. I had to have a talk with him, because I had been asking him like to help out more financially. And so I was expressing how important it was for me to be able to have my time to stay home with the baby when the baby's born. That at this time I'm like 4 months pregnant. And so I'm like, okay, we have like, what, five more months before the baby is due. And so I really needed him to step up and like find a job, because he wasn't making any money with his photography stuff. And anytime he like had something like a gig, he would tell me he had to do it for free. So I'm asking him to find a job. So anyways, so we end up having this conversation like the night before we're supposed to leave. And he gets so upset and he was like, you ruined the trip. He's like, why couldn't you just wait to tell me this when, you know, we got home? And so, because I was crying when I was telling him about how important it was for me to be able to stay home with my son. Like, very, very, very important for me to be able to bond with him and stay home with him and have my time to just, you know, be with the baby. But I can't do that if he doesn't go get a job. And he didn't like the conversation at all. He didn't like the conversation at all. So we, yes, so I'm going to post this. I'm going to show you the video that he made of our baby announcement. And then I'll tell you what happened after that. Yes, after the baby announcement is when I started getting the messages.